Okay, friends, Monday the 31st of January 2011 at 17:38. We're running a wee bit late today, half an hour late, so we'll extend it a half an hour extra. Okay, we'll only answer questions after the show on the subject we're talking about the best we can. And the show is being recorded by a video for anybody that has missed it. And today we're going to talk about Linux, Ubuntu Linux. Now, Linux is an open source platform. It is free for anybody to download and free to put on your computer. So if you're ever fed up with Microsoft, if you use XP, Windows 7 or Windows Vista, and you're fed up with it having to put spyware programs on your computer and this and that, and security products, sometimes you have to buy them. Okay, so Linux is a free system, and today I will show you around Ubuntu. I will also show you whereabouts to get it and how to download it and burn it as an ISO image. Okay, now there's two ways of using Ubuntu. One is by using it off the live CD, and the other one is by installing it on your computer. You can run Linux side by side with Windows, which means basically it will give you that offer whenever you go to install it. So you can either use Microsoft Windows or you can use Linux or Mac or whatever you want to use. Now, Linux to some people sounds difficult to use. Okay, Linux is one of the very easiest operating systems to use that you can find. So we're going to go and use Google Chrome first here, and we're going to go to Ubuntu. Okay, so let's type in Ubuntu Linux. Okay, now hopefully you can see us. Ubuntu Linux. So if you click here, this will take you to Ubuntu homepage. Now this is the new version that they just brought out for late 2010. Okay, so this is Ubuntu Linux. So basically, if you click download, it will ask you, this is the latest version 10.10. It will ask you if you want a 32-bit recommended or if you want to use a 64-bit. Now if your computer is not compatible for 64, obviously you would choose the 32-bit version. Okay, now you can download Ubuntu Desktop Edition online completely free. Okay, this does not cost you one penny. Or you can order a CD off Ubuntu website if you want a CD. So if I choose the 32-bit version, it even says there, click the big orange button to download for anybody that's not too sure how to go about doing it. They also have what they call a netbook edition if you're using a laptop computer. So if you're using a desktop computer, just select the 32-bit version and click Start Download. And you will notice that it is starting to download. It is 693 megabytes. Okay, 693 megabytes. So if I show you the download here, by using Google Chrome, you'll see it starting to download. And it says it's taken roughly 13 minutes, depending on the speed of your internet connection. Now, I'm one of the lucky ones. I have up to about 7 or 8 gigabyte download. Some people have what they call the 2 gigabyte broadband service. Okay, so you're going to find it a wee bit slower. Basically you would save it to your desktop. So I want to cancel that because I already have it installed. Okay, so we'll go back to Ubuntu here. Right, burn your CD or create a USB drive. Okay, Windows, even for a Mac, if you're using a Mac computer and you want to run Linux along with a Mac computer. Okay, Warren, let me just make you check out your moderator. Okay, because I need a few mods to help me run the room. So basically, if you want to burn Linux to a CD or create a USB, you can run Linux off a USB drive, which is very simple to do. Now if you click the button Show Me, right, now here you will see a demonstration, and it is basically infrared recorder. It's a free program that you can use to burn your image if you don't have a CD-ROM burning kit on your computer. And it is quite simple. After you download Ubuntu and save the ISO to your desktop or your documents, or save it to your download folders, you can use this program to do it, and it's called an infrared recorder, and it will work for Windows 95, 98, M&E, 2000, XP, Vista, Windows 7 and Windows XP. And I will try and keep this as simple as possible for the basic users that aren't really up on using a computer. Okay, so you will find that on Ubuntu homepage they do have demonstrations here how to do it. Okay, so when you have the ISO recorder installed in your computer and you have Ubuntu downloaded, the ISO downloaded, you would open up the ISO recorder, and the image file is the source file that you want. So you would browse by clicking the button to whereabouts you have downloaded the Ubuntu ISO to your computer. And you will need a blank CD-ROM recordable or a DVD drive. Now this is for XP users, and this is for anybody that's using Windows 7. So they do have a demonstration here of actually how to do it. Now Linux is free, and it even shows you here how to install it. Now basically, after you burn the ISO image to your CD-ROM or your DVD disc, your blank disc, then basically you go into your BIOS settings on your computer and you set your boot frequency to boot from CD-ROM first. Otherwise it will boot from your hard drive and it will not read your CD-ROM. Now there is a number of ways you can install Linux, but that is one of the simplest ones. When you first boot from your CD-ROM, you will be presented with this option here, either to try Ubuntu or install. If you wish to try it, you click the try button and it will run off the live CD that you have burnt to the disk. You can also browse the internet by the live CD and have full control of the Ubuntu system, or distro they call it, on your computer by live CD. Also, by using the live CD, you will not get what they call a computer virus of any sort because you have not installed the kernel file. So that's a very important thing that you want to keep in mind. If you're browsing websites and you suspect that you're going to be infected, then you can use the live CD of Linux and you will not be infected because you're not using or have installed the kernel file. Okay, so basically you would click install if you want to install it, also recommends that you're connected to the internet. So make sure you're also connected to the internet. Now after you click install here first, you will see this here and it'll say preparing to install. You click forward. The next thing you will be presented with on your screen is allocated drive space. Now if you notice here, it says install alongside your other operating system. So if you have Windows 7 XP, Mac or Windows Vista on your computer, leave that ticked if you want to install it beside the operating system that you're using. And when you think of it, it is handy to have two operating systems. If one goes down, if Windows goes down, you can put straight into Linux. So you have your advantages. Now, if you want to use it as a fresh install and wipe your computer, tick the second option that says erase unused entire disk. If you're into computers in a big way and you know how to make partitions and etc., then obviously you can specify partitions manually and advanced. The next thing you will see is this here, and it will go through the process of formatting your computer, and then you would click install. Just want to make sure that you are actually seeing this. It will depend on the size of your hard drive, obviously. Okay. The next thing you will be presented with, it will ask you where you're from. If you're from the UK, it will be London. If you're from the USA or Canada or Japan or whereabouts in the world you're from, then you have the option here. Now, normally, when you're connected to the internet, it normally finds the location automatically for you. So this is basically for your keyboard settings and for using your computer. As you will see here, you have an option of choosing your keyboard layout from whatever particular country you're from. And then you would click forward. One of the very important things here is it says who are you. Okay, now what I normally would do would put in for my computer name my PC. Okay, because we all understand that computers broadcast a certain amount of information. We also understand in the security sense that computer browsers also give a certain amount of information out, especially with tracking cookies that are tracking your shopping habits for to sell computers or whatever it is, products they want to sell. Okay, we all get tracking cookies put on our computer, and it's basically to track your shopping habits. So in a security sense, you want to give as little information out to the bad world as possible. So I normally would say my PC. Now this one here is very important, which is basically your password. This is what they call a root password on Linux. Something similar to administrator's password on a Windows operating system. I would suggest if you are doing a password, you use the lower cases and upper cases of your keyboard. Do not use your names, date of birth or addresses, because hackers have what they call a hacker's dictionary that looks for basic names, addresses and date of birth. So anything over 15 letters is roughly going to take someone 2 weeks to break using a password sniffer or a password hacker program. So if you make it longer, after 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to get fed up and they're going to go to somebody a wee bit more easier. Okay, so root passwords are very important. the only time you use this password on Linux is when you're logging in, or if you're getting updates for your computer or installing a special program. Do not have your root password logged in all the time. It is a security risk. Okay, now you do have the option of logging automatically, or you do have the option of encrypt my home folder. Now that is the beauty about a lot of Linux distros today. There is Fedora, OpenSUSE, Mint 10, Ubuntu, and there is quite a few number of Linux distros out there. Some suit others and some don't. So it's a matter of using them and playing about with them and getting to know them. So basically I would go for encrypt my home folder. It gives you that wee bit more security on your computer. Now, it says here, go and have a cup of tea or whatever. I normally would sit for the first time and watch, because you would get a small slideshow here as it's installing, basically to give you an idea of exactly what they have, who done it. The last thing you're going to see is installation complete. Click restart. Now what you do is click restart, eject the CD-ROM or DVD-ROM out of your computer, and it will ask you to press any key on your keyboard and it will restart. Okay, so basically we have installed a Linux, and that is the link for downloading the desktop version. So if anybody wants to write that down, you will see it on the video. Okay, just 1 second, friends. On this broadcasting, okay?
Tell them you see you tomorrow.
Love you, grandchildren. Okay, friends. Right, see you tomorrow. Hold on a second, guys. Just bear with me a wee second, please. Who's that door out this place? Okay, friends, I apologise about that. It's just grandchildren heading home. Okay, so we've got Linux installed. Okay, now we can close this browser now, and just want to make sure we're still recording here. Okay, because the recording on Blog TV on a pro account only basically lasts 30 minutes, you know, so I want to record it for other people. Right, we have Linux installed here on this computer in front of you, and basically this is the way it comes up. At the top here you have applications, you have places, and you have system. Over here you would have your network connection, okay, if it's wireless, or here you would have your email, your sound, your date, time. Right, over here, this is for turning your computer off. If you click that, you can lock a season, guest season, switch from my PC, that would be my name on my computer. You can log out, suspend, hibernate, which basically means that your computer goes to sleep. If you're doing something on your computer, you can go back to it when you restart. You can click restart or shut down. Now I want to go to the first thing that you would do when you install Linux. The very first important thing you want to do is when you install Ubuntu Linux is go to System, go to Administrator, Account, okay, and go to Update Manager. Now if you click Update Manager, you'll see what happens. Okay, basically what it is doing, it is starting the Update Manager, and it is looking to see if there are any updates for the computer. You will notice here recommended updates, and you will notice that they're clicked by default. So these are a mail client update, independent files for a program, plugins, and media identification libraries. Now, the very first time that you install Linux and you go for your updates, you will find that you will have roughly about 200 updates the very first time. And the 200 updates will come down very quick depending on your internet connection. So this is your update manager. So basically what you would do is it'll tell you how many updates here you have, and it says 5.0 megabytes will be downloaded. Okay. Now, because I'm already have Ubuntu Linux installed on my computer and I've already updated it, it takes you to check for your updates the same as you would do for Microsoft Windows or a Mac computer. Now, you can set your updates to come down automatically on Linux the same as you do on a Windows computer, but I prefer to look for the updates myself. Okay, so basically you click install updates. Now, it'll ask you here for your password, and this is basically your root password that I was talking about earlier in the video. So if you look, you see how long my password is, and it does give you an idea of the length of password that you want to use, not only on Linux but on any computer. Now you will see that my password is pretty long. Now it should start to apply the updates. Now if you click this small button here, it will show you how quick they're coming down. As I say, it depends on your internet connection. The next thing it does, this is what they call the terminal. Something similar to the command system on a Windows computer. And this is exactly how quick it applies the changes to your system. So don't be worried about the terminal in Linux. It is pretty easy to use, and I will show you how to use it, the same as you would use a DOS command system next week in the video we'll do next week on Linux. So these are basically a plan the updates that I have checked for on my computer. It's very important that you update any operating system, whether it's a Mac computer or a Linux computer or Microsoft. It says your system is up to date. Okay, that's the very first important thing that you must do on any computer when you first use it or install it. So that's how you update Ubuntu Linux. Now, other Linuxes, you have to click on what they call the package manager, and it basically does the same thing. We will talk about Fedora Linux and other Linuxes that you can use on your computer at a later date. Okay, so you go to System, Administrator, and Update Manager. Now, Linux comes pre-installed with a lot of programs already installed on it. So if we go to Applications, you've got Accessories, and these are installed, pre-installed on the system Ubuntu, also on Mint Linux, Fedora, OpenSUSE, and PC Linux OS, and etc. So these would be the accessories. Now you have Calculator, free, Charter Map, free, a Disk Usage Analyzer basically tells you what space is left on your hard drive. That's free. All these are free. Basically shortcuts there, as you can see. Manage your printer if you have a printer. Search for files on your computer, the same as you would do on Microsoft or a Mac. Take screenshots of your desktop. Now this is the thermal, this is what they call the thermal, and basically it's something similar to the DOS command on a Windows operating system. Text editor and basically sticky notes that you can put on your computer. It also comes pre-installed with games. Now forget about this one here. This is a program that you can install on Linux if you want to run a Windows program on Linux. We'll talk about that at a later date. It's pretty easy to do. Blocks. Okay, now do the games work? Yes. That is one of the games there. You can see yourself that it's very clear. Okay, so it's just to give you an idea, you can play games on Linux 2 free. These would be your graphics. You've got OpenOffice Draw, you've got Shortwell Photo Manager for your photos, and you've got a simple scan for scanning documents. Internet, you have now Google Chrome. I installed it, but I will show you how to do it in a minute. It comes with this Messenger, Mail. It also comes pre-installed with Firefox browser, up to date. Would I advise to install Ubuntu Linux side by side with Windows OS? Yes. If you have Microsoft Windows 7 or whatever on your computer, and you want to have the benefit of running Linux and Windows at the same time, yes, because when you install the Linux, it will offer you the choice of running it side by side. So whenever your computer reboots, you get the choice of booting into Linux or booting into Windows. So as I say, it comes with Firefox web browser pre-installed. Now it does come with a firewall called Firewall Builder. But there is another firewall that you can download, which I would recommend, and is more secure, which is called Firestarter. I'll show you how to get them in a wee minute. It also has a remote desktop viewer built into it, and you'll notice that I have excuse me, you'll notice that I have Skype put on it for handiness, because I'm a Skype user. Thermal Service Client and a BitTorrent client. These come pre-installed by default. You go to Office, you have a dictionary, and you have your OpenOffice presenter, database, spreadsheet, and word processor. Now, why would you want to pay £200 or £300 for using Microsoft Office when you've got OpenOffice 3.2 free? It's going to do the same job that you want, and you will notice there how good it is. So for anybody who uses Microsoft Office, it comes free, pre-installed. And the beauty about this is, it's the best price you can get. It's free. That's what I like about it. You also have sound and video if you do video programs. Now, I did download a couple of these extra programs myself, but it comes with a disc burner. And basically it's called Brazzo. This is for doing audio, data, video, copying a disc, or burn an image. If you want to burn an image, you just basically click the image here. It'll ask you to select what the image is, put your disc in, and click create. It's a very simple program to use, and it's free. It also has tools in it here for blanking what they call a DVD rewriter disc, and etc. So it has a software for burning discs if you want to copy for your own personal use, videos, or etc. It's also got a program for your webcam, and it also has a program that lets your computer read out text for you, voice recognition. It's also got a built-in movie player